Welcome to the first webinar session in year 2026 from Post-Service Department. My name is Bisi Roland and I am your host today. The head of service, Mr. Adegoke, and the permanent secretary, Public Service Office, Mrs. Sukomi Oyebola, send their greetings, and also the director of Post Service Department, Mrs. Bukola Dorodola. She's unavoidably absent, but she also appreciates your presence today. I welcome members of the Association of Lagos State Retired Heads of Service and the permanent secretaries, distinguished retirees, and of course, 7 officers on the call. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar session. Our topic for today is agricultural business mistakes retirees should avoid. And we have with us a seasoned facilitator. His name is Mr. Adewunmi Adegoke, and he's an experienced agribusiness entrepreneur and a professional trainer with over 20 years of cross-sector expertise spanning agriculture, food systems, finance, and operations. Mr. Adegoke specializes in supporting farmers and agripreneurs to transition from subsistence production to commercially viable, market-oriented agribusinesses. He's the co-founder of Urban Agriculture School in Ibadan, where he delivers Oh, sorry about that. The network just threw me out. So I was talking about the facilitator, Mr. Adegoke. Yeah, he holds a bachelor's degree in agricultural economics from the University of Ibadan. And he also has a Google professional certification in data analysis and business intelligence. His earlier career in the banking sector includes roles at Standard Trust Bank, Defcon Bank, and FCMB. And his roles there strengthened his expertise in agribusiness finance, financial records management, SME funding readiness, product management, and risk management. So I would hand over to him to give us his presentation. But before then, please, I'll encourage everyone to listen attentively and write down whatever questions they have. So during the question and answer session, we can ask our questions. So thank you once again for your presence and welcome. Mr. Adegoke, please, can you go on?
All right, thank you very much. Happy New Year, everyone, and good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining this session. My name is Adewunmi Adegoke. And today we'll be discussing something
Can you see the screen? Mr. Adegoke?
Nothing has come up. Nothing has come up yet.
I can't see the screen. I can't.
Oh. Okay, Okay, please go on. I'll try to put it on.
Okay, it's showing now. Okay, it's up now. It's up now. I can see the slides now.
Okay, it has come up. All right. Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you for joining this session. I'm sure we all have things to do, but fun time to join this session. Thank you for that. And we'll discuss something very critical today. Why many agribusinesses fail, even when farmers are hardworking and knowledgeable. This session is going to be practical, not theory. I'm going to be talking from experiences, working with farmers, running agribusinesses, and building food supply chains. So I will encourage us to make it interactive. I'm going to be asking questions. I encourage us to answer, because I know that how many of us are here? I'm sure we'll have a wealth of experience, many years just within us here. So we can still learn from each other. So even as I'm going, I'll be asking us to give share our experiences, what we've had. So by the end of the webinar today, we'll clearly understand the most common agribusiness mistakes and practical steps we can take to avoid them. First, why do agribusiness fail? Let me start with the hard truth. Most agribusinesses don't fail because of lack of land, capital, or government support. There's always land, there's always support, family, government, even capital. But most times they fail because of wrong decisions and wrong thinking. In my experience on the field, 70 to 80% of agribusinesses failures are preventable if operators understand the business side of agriculture. Do you have anyone here that started a farming project and shut down within 2 to 3 years? We're learning, please. Do you have anyone? You can signify by maybe messaging or
You can raise your hand if
I
you
did one. I did
okay.
fish farming and I closed it down.
All right. Why did you close it down, ma'am?
Too many factors. One, the hormonillas kept stealing the fish.
Okay.
Two, the cost of the feed was going so high.
Yes.
And then the off-takers, we are always pricing the fish very
Yes.
low, very low. So that's why I closed.
Thank you for sharing that, ma'am. Do you have any other person?
Yes.
Yes, we have someone. All right. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. I also run an
Yes, ma'am.
agric farm. I have an agric farm in Agbowa, and
Yes,
it's still running.
All right.
And what I tried to do when I started, because it's mostly pineapples and other fruits, that I have, and pawpaw and all of that I do there. And
Yes.
and I think it's being a bit successful because I have a supermarket that I supply, some of my produce to,
Right.
most if not all the produce to. So I think it's been an enjoyable experience, except for the farm hands. They're the challenge. Otherwise, I think it's been a good experience for me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr.
Yes. Any other one,
Adewunmi.
please?
All right.
Yes. Any other one, please? All right. I'll move ahead because funny enough, we're going to come to some of the things that were highlighted by people that responded.
Sorry.
Okay, first,
Good morning,
so
everyone. Sir, I was trying to raise up my hands, but
All right,
I think
please go ahead, ma. Go ahead, ma. Go ahead, ma, please.
yes, I'm joining because I'm trying to also set up. I have a land somewhere, in Ikorodu, and I'm thinking about starting something like my HOS said I also wanted to go into fruits farming. So it'll be very good if I can, get some pointers from this. Thank you.
Great, great. I like this. Great, great. All right, ma. All right. So for why I'll first go to why agriculture for retirees, opportunities in Lagos. The good thing about Lagos is there's strong demand for agricultural produce in Lagos, and there are different value chains. Most times, I think we tend to focus on the production aspect, not on the processing aspect also. There are other value chains and all that we can plug in, and they're not too stressful, like production, that give us less stress. So we need to we're going to look at those opportunities and then where we can plug in. It might just be packaging and processing like you do, or you can go to production, or if you have the labor capacity, you can go through the whole chain. But for us living in Lagos, I would say yes, there is you have poultry, you have aquaculture, that's fish, we have vegetables, we do mushrooms, snail, honey, dairy processing, spice processing, palm oil retail. Those are all we can plug into value chain. Selling of feeds is actually part of it also. So when we say agriculture, it's not just the production as well, the farming aspect. That's agriculture. So I'll go to number one mistake: lack of proper planning. There's no simple business plan of this study. We just jump into production. Sometimes we're like, I love doing this. I always had it in mind to do this when I retire. Like it's a passion. So let's do it. And there's no proper planning. No, we won't even look at how we're going to keep our books and all that, the processes. What are we going to do? We just jump into it. The thing about it is one, I don't know, I passed through all this in the past also, because I liked something, I just felt I should do it. But the honest truth is, we need to plan things, no matter how, even if we're very knowledgeable in it, we still need to plan, do a business plan. One, we first need to go look at the agricultural enterprise that we want to do. The fact that we like it or we have passion for it. At this age, there's some things we can do due to our physical capability. Like someone mentioned, that getting good hands and all that, available time, the skills or the temperament. It's not nice to just, because everybody is going to fish, let's jump into fish. Everybody is doing poultry, let me jump into poultry. Or my neighbors are doing poultry, let me jump into poultry. One, we need to look at, that is the proper planning. What's the size of land that we have? Is it near the house or is it in the farming area? Those are the things we need to look at. We can't, like, if we're where people are, if we're in the city, the urban part of Lagos here, we can't do poultry. We're going to have neighbors. We can't do piggery. We're going to have neighbors because of the smell. Those are the things we need to look at. We need to be realistic, It's like someone can be in the middle of Surulere and says, I want to start raising broilers at the back of my house. When I go to the store, people around with the smell. And then two, talk about biosecurity also, easily those chicken can get infected. So we need to plan the size of land that we have. How near is the place to where we live? Those are things that we don't think about. I always tell people that At this age, if your farm is more than 30 minutes away from where you live when you are starting off, please don't do it, please. Unless you have very trustworthy or very capable hands that can be there for you. If it's more than 30 minutes, it's going to become a stress for you. By the time you start doing a journey of 1 hour to get to the farm 1 hour back at this age, it's going to affect us health-wise. Let's be fair with ourselves, not even with the traffic and all that. So I always say that let the place be near your home. Then let's do a proper business plan. You know, I can remember I did it in the past. So when I had to start a snail production, I went online and everything that. Hello? When I went to
Please go ahead, Sam. We can hear you.
Okay. When I went to start, I had to go into snail production. I went online, talked to a couple of people, and I went online, was checking. Everything I was seeing was start with 100 snails within a year. You are going to get 1,000. Within 2 years, you are going to get 5,000. You know, it looked so. Oh, I was like, is this so easy? That why it's so expensive and all that. So the next thing I decided to do then was, okay, do you know what? Let me start calling people out, calling people to see where I can even get parent stock. Lo and behold, I went to the internet, all the people that were writing all these proposals that I could see, calling them, asking for parent stock, they didn't have. Most of them didn't even have farms. Now, when you go online, you see beautiful put up proposals on snail farming. That if you start with 100 snails, in 3 years, you're going to be with 10,000 snails. So those are the things we need to be, we need to be careful of. We always have wonderful, even they'll tell you going through Ugu production. Ugu production, you start with how many seedlings before you know it, you're harvesting all year round. For personal experience, I had a farm at I had a land at Ibadan, between Ibadan going to Ido, that's Ido, from Ibadan to Ido, within that space. I had a farmland there, and I was in Lagos. So I said to plant Ugu. I bought my seedlings, 5,000 seedlings from Nihot, went there and planted them. What the consultant told me then was to put things together, and then that we will plant just before the rains go off, so that we can sell Ugu in the dry season. So we can sell Ugu during the dry season and then make money. So I was happy that, okay, fine. So we timed it that we'll start our Ugu before, just in October, just before the rains go away. I didn't have any irrigation in place. That's why I planted 5,000 seedlings. That year, I don't know what happened. I think after I planted, it rained just twice, and that was it. I lost 5,000 seedlings. So what I'm trying to say is, apart from the fact that the place was even too far from where I was, one. Two, if you are doing any dry season vegetables or dry season cropping, please, let's have irrigation in place. So those are the things that will go into your planning when you are planning. What do I want to do? Do I want to raise, is it fish I want to raise? If you're going to raise fish, you need to test the waters, where you're going to get the water source, where I get your water from. How acidic is it, or how alkaline is it? You know, if it's poultry, where am I getting my feeds? Is it going to be far from where I'm staying? Where am I going to dispose of the debts? Those are the things we should put into consideration before we start, which is part of what we say planning. And then two, I always advise, and also part of planning also is make sure the money rules. I think we can go to second slide now. The money rules, place and place. Don't put all your money into the project. I always advise that you start with 10 to 30% of available funds. You have 5 million to start, please start with 10 or 30%. Don't pour the whole 5 million there. Even for fish also, if you go, people will tell you fish. You just do fish. If you do 10,000 seedlings in 6 months, you multiply it, a kg is so amount. In 6 months, you're going to make like times 6, 7 of what you started with. Nobody will tell you that the price for the feeds can move up while you are still rearing. Same with poultry. And that will jeopardize the whole planning that you do. So like I said, if you're starting, please, we are retirees. Whatever we have, the bulk point that we have, let's not start with everything, one step at a time. Take 10 to 30% of the capital you have to start, to experiment. And do it for at least 6 to 9 months. If it's simple, at least do the first, if it's for fish, if you're ready for 6 months, do the first 6 months and see how it happen. Then we can run another 6 months as well before you now put more money into it. And then I would say also that we need to register our accounts. We need to register our businesses. Even right now, we don't have interest anyway. We need to register our businesses also and keep our books. For obvious reasons now, for the taxes, we need to keep our books. Whether we are making up to 50 million or not, we still need to keep our books. It's our books that will show that, because you're not going to pay tax if you are not doing a turnover of 50 million and above. But how we don't know you're not doing a turnover of 50 million if you don't keep your books? So we need to keep our books straight. And then another thing I would like to mention is, sometimes when we start businesses where we are still in service, we are seeing extra money. So when we don't keep our books, you will think the business is profitable because you are seeing extra money to put into the business. But by the time you now come out and business stands alone, you now find that so many things were augmenting because you're earning salary for somewhere else. So that's why it's always good to keep our books. Let's know, most of us don't know whether we're making profit or what we're doing, just so that there's money to spend. I sold something today, at least there's money to spend. But by the time we want to restock, we now start looking for money again to restock. Either is it to plant or livestock, maybe to raise fish, broilers, or what have we. So let's keep our proper records. So make sure you have this thing is registered, our businesses are registered. There are very simple tools, Excel, there are simple tools right now we can use. Simple softwares that we can download and use, or we can use simple Excel sheets. Just keep all our spendings and see all what we're going to, we have all our spendings, and then all what we're going to use all what we're selling, so we can see this is what we're spending and this is what we're getting from it. If not, you just find out that at every circle or at the end of every season, they are looking for money to start up again. Business shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be that stressful. Once it's stressing like that, then you're doing something wrong. Then also, I would say part of the planning also is looking for a ready market. I might not be going according to the slides that we're having, but looking for ready market. We don't assume that if I plant vegetables, or if I plant ugu, people will just come and buy from me. We need to look at those that will come and buy the ugu. Are they around us? Do we have where we're selling to? Like the second person that spoke said she had a supermarket she was supplying fruits to. That's what made it easy. For fruits, the shelf life is very, very short. So you can imagine harvesting and you now start looking for who to buy. I've done it before. I've got through it before. Then I had we did watermelon at Okeodon. That's after Ota, as if you are going to Idiroko, Okeodon. That's at the is it there's an irrigation thing for the government there. That's why we had the watermelon farm, and we raised it during the dry season and all that. We just felt that because we're doing during the dry season, when we bring it out, people will buy. So we didn't look for buyers. We just assumed that people, once it's ready, people will come and buy. Unfortunately, by the time we came, by the time it got matured and we harvested, the what do they call it? The watermelons from the north came in at the same time and were bigger than our own. The same price. We sold at a loss because we just wanted to get rid of it before they got spoiled. So those are the things we need to look at. Who are we going to sell to? If we're doing fish, are we going to smoke when it gets to millage, that's 3-4 months? Are we going to smoke it to extend the shelf life and sell? Or do we have people that will come and pick it up from us fresh at 5-6 months that will come and take it off us? So we need to look for the market first. Let's not assume at all. Let's look for the market first before we decide. Or in my area, what do they even do? What do they buy? Do you have people that will buy this in my area? Those are the things we need to look at. Who can I supply to? So we need to look out for the supply first before we go back to start doing our farming. Then also we need to look at the kind of, like I said earlier, the kind of farming we're doing. Is it going to be labor intensive? How are we going to get the labor? Like I said, don't let it be too far from you so that you won't anything at this age, anything that will exercise so much physical strength from us. I don't think we should go into it. Really, that's my advice. And I've covered the tax issues and record keeping. And then we need to try as much as possible. Yes, we are saying it's small business, but we need to separate it from my private funds. We don't have a choice right now because of the tax. So we need to separate our business funds from my private funds. We need to begin to do a cash flow forecast. We need to do a little bit of financial management when it comes to our business, no matter how small it is. Let's know what's coming in, what's going out. Let's know what are we paying for, the infrastructure we're paying for. Let's look at it. If you are leasing the land, how much am I paying for leasing? Even right now, you can insure agricultural goods. Most of us are not aware of that, but we can insure our crops, we can insure them. We can insure our crops, we can insure our livestock. Those are things that we can do. It's doable now, so that in case there is drought, in case there are issues and all that, you will not lose totally. But at this stage, at this age, we need to look at all those things. The risk we are taking should not be as high as someone that is people that are in their 20s or their 30s. We should be calculating our risk now because the funds we have are limited. And also, I always advise, please, when you are starting afresh, don't go and borrow money with interest. So please, I beg of you. No matter how sweet the proposal or the consultant that you take, no matter how sweet the business looks like, please. Because they always tell us that, look, they are going to get so much, are going to get so much. If you plant this from 1 hectare, you get this. If you raise so amount of beds, you get this. It looks good on paper, but reality is very different, please. For agriculture, it's very, very different. So please, no matter how good it looks on paper, please, let's not borrow money with interest at all to start it. Mistake number 3, wrong location or land choice. Like I said earlier, I think I mentioned this also, that whatever we're doing, one, it shouldn't be the land where we're going to, if we're raising our fish, it should not be too far from where we are going to sell. It should not be too far from where we are going to sell. It should be somewhere that is easily accessible by people that want to come and buy from us. Once the land is too far from the main road, there's always an issue. So always advise that it's either you get a land where you have other farmers, when you have clusters of farmers, like when someone mentioned Agboa, I'm sure there's a place in Agboa for fish where you have other farmers that there also, that you can have
Ben.
hello. So you have farm clusters where you can lease lands from, even if you can't buy from them. You can lease lands there instead of saying, because I have one land and somewhere inside Ikorodu or inside before that I have not developed, you now want to go and site the fish pond there. Meanwhile, you are staying in Lagos. To get to Ifo is like 1 hour 30 minutes. Because it's your land, that's where you want to go and have the fish farm. It doesn't look good at all. From there, there's no way you'll be able to monitor the farm. There's no way you'll be able to be hands-on on the farm. So instead of doing that, let's not be sentimental. We can lease farmlands, farm clusters. If it's for piggery, if it's for fish, for poultry, let's move closer to where we have people. What we have clusters, the main advantage of clusters is that, one, they're going to be close to sellers, they're going to be close to feed, they're going to share knowledge with people and other things. They call it economies of scale. So you're going to get things cheaper than when you're standalone. Like I always tell people, you want to raise you want to do piggery, you're going to start alone. And because it's your land and it's far off from the main road. Pigs are heavy. Anybody coming to buy would think twice, unless person is coming to your farm and your farm is big enough, the person wants 50 pigs. Person can get 50 pigs from your farm. Or from one spot. But now that they'll come, you have only 5, they pick 5. Nobody wants to be going around to get those kind of things. They rather go to a cluster where they know they can get different pigs from different sellers. So I always advise, move close to sellers and to clusters, and don't go and farm in an isolated area that is far from where you can sell your produce or where you can get your feed from. Therefore, fish, I always say, test your waters, please. Don't buy the fish before you test your waters. Don't buy the finger before you test your waters. Test your waters. Make sure it's not hard water that you have in your area before. Don't just assume because I have borehole, then my water should be all right for my fish. Test the waters first, the state of the water, before you even start at all. Then the first person that mentioned Omonile issues and all that, these are the things we need to look at when we're choosing our land. So we need to be very careful that we're not where before we come, we've harvested our produce for us. Before we come, we've harvested our cassava for us. Before you get there, we've cleared half of the fish that you have in your fish pond, or even the poultry. So when you're looking for land, you think of security, you think of nearness to source of feed, you think of nearness to sellers, and you think of the biosecurity. Are you going to be in the midst of where everybody is? You can't come and site a poultry in the heart of Surulere or the heart of Ikeja. It's going to not work that way. It won't. Don't disturb your neighbors. They will bring, apart from the disturb your neighbors with the smell, easily they can bring in, diseases into your poultry. So we need to look at all this. We must not own the land to farm. We must not own the land to farm. If what we own is not suitable and we want to farm, we can lease. There are options to lease. Then I'll go to mistake number 4, ignoring training and knowledge. We can't overemphasize this. We must train, go for trainings, retrain. One training is not enough. And most times, I always say, we don't get enough of free trainings. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Which is why at times it's good to be where clusters are, so you learn from fellow farmers. But really, we need to go for training, retraining before. When we have started, we still need to retrain. There are always new ways of raising birds. There are always new ways of raising fish, new formulas of making feeds. Excuse me. So I always say that we can't do that more than enough. We can't overtrain. We can't overtrain. So let's take part in trainings that are being organized. I know there are trainings that are being organized by the government, and there's some NGOs also. And there are some that we can pay for also. They're all over the place and all that. Okay. Practical trainings, please. Anybody that is telling you to just load you with handouts or training manuals and all that, please and please, let's ask people to avoid that. If you are getting trained and you're not going to a farm to see the practicality of it, please and please don't waste your money on it. Don't waste money on it, please. Let's be farming is very practical. Farming is very, very practical. Nobody will tell you that you can lose 10,000 fish in one day. You won't see it on the internet. You won't see it in any manual, but it happens. You can raise your poultry, your layers. You can raise layers to a point of lay, and they begin to die because maybe you missed a vaccine or something, and they begin to die at point of lay. Nobody will tell you that in the manual. In the manuals, everything's always looking good. So I want us if I go for any training at all, please, let's see the practicality of whatever I've been taught. And then I always say go for trainings that you'll be mentored for at least 3 months after the training. So those are the questions you should ask before paying for any training, please. Let's make use of the free ones that the government is providing for us. And let's ask questions. Let's ask as many questions as possible during a training. And I don't know about the training is also, I always say that any agricultural training now must come with the business aspect of it. How do you cost? And how do you cost your produce? Those are the things that it should be a part of the training also. And I would like to reiterate again that if you don't keep proper documentation, proper records, you won't be able to do proper costing. You might be selling at a loss. You might be selling, because everybody is selling at 5 naira, I must sell at 5 naira. Meanwhile, what you're putting in might be more than what the other person is putting in. You don't even know what the other person is putting in. But just because Mr. A is selling at 10 naira, I must sell at 10 naira. Meanwhile, your produce might even be more quality than that of Mr. A. But because Mr. A is selling at 5 naira, you sell at 5 naira also, not looking at what you have put in. So those are the things we need to look at also. I think on mistake number 5, choosing the wrong enterprise. I think I've touched on this. That we need to, when we're choosing the enterprise, we need to know the cycle. If I'm doing fish, like I said, I'm not going to be doing it for fresh fish, which is 6 months, average of 5-6 months. or is it milage, average of 3-4 months, then I'll smoke. Which one can I sell, or which one do I have the market? Which is why you need to do your market survey. Which one do I have market for? When you increase the shelf life of something, you're not pressurized to sell. Like for fish, if you do your milage and you smoke it properly, then you can sell at your pace. If you don't need money fast, you can sell at your pace. But for those that are selling fresh, and that comes with broilers also, you know that at a certain weight, if I don't sell at a certain weight, I'm going to start having issues. Because once it gets more than that weight, people buy for the price I want to sell. So you're now feeding and they're not seeing buyers. So you're already running into a loss. So we need to look at those circles, which is why you must have ready market. If you're doing your broilers, how many weeks are you doing your broilers? Are you doing for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks? We need to look at it. So I know that the circle, so I'm going to spend this amount of money to raise this thing for 12 weeks. So you know how much I'm going to spend from the beginning. How much I'm going to spend to raise these boilers? How much do I have? If I don't have enough money, let me reduce the quantity of broilers. Same thing with fish and with fingerlings. I want to raise fish for 6 months. I'm taking 10,000 fingerlings. If I feed them for 6 months, you need to do all these calculations before you even start. I'm going to need, for example, 4 million to feed them. Do I have 4 million naira? No, I have 2 million naira. That means I can only do half. When you get to the middle, you get stuck. And the next thing you start panicking, then you're unable to feed your fish again, unable to feed your poultry again. I've seen people calling me to look for buyers for broilers because they can't even feed the broilers again because they couldn't sell them off. So you're just feeding the broilers, the birds, not to die. Already are running at a loss. You're just feeding them so that they won't die. But already running at a loss. And for any businessman that comes to buy from you at that point, they will take advantage because they know you're desperate. Look at the advantages of knowing where you're selling. You're selling your produce before you start selling. Before you start going to the enterprise. Sorry. So you need to look at your budget. You need to look at your time. How much time do I have? Which is why I said don't locate it too far off. It's even like when you're even a cluster, you can say, I can decide to go twice a week because you can call farmer A or B. Please, will you help me just check if this is that? You can call farmer C. Will you help me check this and this and this? I'm not able to come today. But if you started in a lone place, you don't go. And once the farm hands know that you're not regular on the farm, they begin to do whatever they want to do. Then here, say choosing enterprise beyond your capabilities. Yes. So passion is not enough. You might like fishery, but if you don't have the capacity for it, it's not everybody that can take the heat. It's not everybody that won't take the heat. When you're doing livestock, when there's for example, there's an epidemic and wipes off all your stock. Some of us cannot take the heat. Some of us, even the BP will give us to be another thing again. So we need to be careful of the kind of ventures we go into also. Because agriculture I will tell you, it can be high risk really at times. So if you have like 10,000 birds and you're losing like 5,000 in a day, if you don't have the capacity to take that kind of hit, you shouldn't go into it really. Poultry is high risk. So you shouldn't go into poultry. If you know like someone that have a high BP, you can't take shock, I would advise you not to go into poultry. Look for something less that's not as risky as poultry is. You could do crops and you could do other livestock. You could do goats, raising goats and all that. You could do that. But for poultry, I know poultry is high risk. Fish at the beginning can be high risk, but once you've mastered it, you can do well in it. Same thing with poultry also. But I will say, if you don't have the mind, you will know. If you don't have the shock absorber for it, please don't go into those kind of ventures. Then mistake number 6, weak or no marketing strategy. Like I said, have buyers first before you go into, have where you're going to sell your stuff first before you go into. And now the competition is real, you know. If you are selling online, everybody is selling online. If you are raising poultry, if you say, okay, fine. If you assume that you bring it to Alausa the Secretariat, you always get people to buy. There are 1,000 people bringing chicken to at the same time. If it's goats you want to bring, there are 1,000 people that will bring goat meat to at the same time. So we need to look at how we go to market, value proposition. Why do you have your strength? Those are the things to begin to look at. Will I just be supplying supermarket? Will I do individuals? Those are the things we need to look at. When it comes to business, please, let's not assume anything. Assumptions, all of things that kill businesses. Let's test the waters. I'm doing poultry, I've already gone to check for markets. Where I can sell my chicken to. I already have one supermarket. I have people that I've told I'm selling this thing in 6 weeks. I have my dollars ready. I have a supermarket I'm going to give. I have a supermarket I'm going to drop by. Let's have options, not just one person. Because you have one supermarket doesn't mean when it's time, they will take from you. It might be time and they have a cheaper option. It might be time and they've gone past what you guys discussed. So you have to have different options, different value proposition you're proposing. You need to learn how to market online also. And what's up? We can do it on the status, the updates. This is what I'm selling. Those are the things, those are different ways. We have to take it serious. The energy we are putting into production, we're going to put ×2 into marketing. That's the mistake we make most times. And she buy on your mind gel, they will come and buy. People always sit now. Now people are doing food production. There are many people into food production also. Nobody's sleeping. The same way you have it that our own gel, everybody too has it that people will buy from. So everybody wants to be the first to come out to the market. And they said, if you don't, marketing is very key. If you don't market your produce, if you don't tell people what you do and all that. Nobody will know what you are doing. Nobody will come and buy. 2 times instead of energy using production. The mistake of everybody will know that area has gone. Like I said earlier, they are for bookkeeping. You can use a simple Excel sheet. They help us. So there are so many downloadable apps that you can use. There also you can use to calculate if I have 10,000 birds. You give you a fair idea of how I'm going to use to feed them. Your boilers, feed them to production in 16 weeks or 12 weeks, whatever the case is. I'm just giving an example. There are some apps you use to calculate them. If you go on, so those are simple tools you can. Or if you are doing your dried vegetable and all that, like I said, if you're doing dried vegetable, try and get your irrigation done, please. If you're doing on your large scale. Or if you're doing at the back of your house, yes, that means you're still going to have your irrigation also anyway. But you should have, if you can do drip irrigation for your vegetables. Those are simple tools that initially they might look expensive, but I tell you, they are investments that will save you money on the long run. You can't quantify them till when you start. They're going to reduce the amount of energy you put into those things. Like when you have your drip irrigation, or you have your test water kits for your fish. You have your thermometers, or your moisture meters. All those things, they might look expensive, but I tell you, they come in handy and they save you a lot of problem, a lot of issues. You can do your soil test. So you just don't apply fertilizer anyhow. So you know what is in that soil, what you can use that soil for do your crop production. Things have gone past how they used to do it in those days. That used to like, this is how A did it. If I do it that way, I'll get the same result. You might not. But right now, what's being done right now is what is the yield I can get from that particular land, especially for crop that I have, even for livestock too. That space I have, what is the maximum yield or maximum number of animals I can raise effectively in that space that I have? And it's technology that will help us a long way in achieving this. Even to keep our our inventories, to keep our bookkeeping, simple bookkeeping. We don't need anything complex. You have simple tools that we can use. For our sales, like I said earlier, we can use our Instagram, we can use WhatsApp, we can use Facebook. Those are the things we're familiar with. It's not just for gisting or for knowing what's happening in on the social media. We can as well use them to sell our produce, to sell whatever we're producing, Most of these tools, I can bet you, they are cheap. Then the mistake number 8, going solo. I think I've mentioned this earlier too before, it's easier when we do it in clusters. Even if we're not in the same area, if we're different places, join WhatsApp groups, join cooperatives. You learn a lot from practicing farmers. Don't stand alone. You can't have all the knowledge. Share knowledge with people. You learn from them. I did my own this way. Okay. I can give I can give my fish this. It's not only the fish feed that I give them. I give them something else again, and it's good for them. It turned out this way. Are you serious? My crop, I have pests on my crop. And someone say, no, don't worry. You can use organic fertilizer, organic and pesticide. You can use neem. You don't need to use chemicals. Those are the things we get from different people. Some people will tell you the quantity that they use, how to use it. There are some things we won't get. When I was in school, nobody told me I could mix neem oil with water and soap. I use it to kill pests. I wasn't taught that in school. I learned it when I came out of school. So there are different things like that. There are some crops that when you plant them with your crops, they ward off pests. Most of them you don't learn in school. You don't learn them in theory, it's in practical. Someone that has done it, and they will tell you this is the way to go about it. Like I said, let's join cooperatives. They're cooperative, physical. There are some that just lots of farmers. Some are mushroom production, snail production, fishery, different production, cassava production. They'll tell you the type of cassava to use that has less water quantity. When you're making your garri, it's easier for you. They'll tell you the type of cassava to use. People will tell you that, you can even say, okay, they will tell you that we got grant from here. If you approach these people, they will give you grants. These are the trainings, we get all those things from the shared groups that we go. So when you're doing agribusiness, please and please, I always advise, don't go into it solo. Get as many people as you know doing what you want to do, what you are doing, so you can share experiences. Therefore, farm hands, for me, like I said, that is it's farm hands. It's a challenge for everyone. It's a challenge for everyone. Getting them one, when you get them, getting the good ones and all that, which is why all these little tools like your drip, your drippers, they come into play. All these little things that you can use, all these little tools that you can use to monitor your farms. And thank God right now, we now have even cameras. You can, for us that are into livestock, you have cheap cameras now that you can use, that are using solar, that you can use on your farm. They are cheap. Some come as low as 10,000 naira. And you can monitor them from wherever you are. So we should learn to, broaden our knowledge and look at what people are doing. That you can see what's happening on your poultry farm. You can see what's happening in your fish farm. And they use solar. You can put them outside. Some can be inside, and they work perfectly well. And immediately it's tampered with, you know that why it's not working, what's happening, and at least you begin to suspicious that what's happening, because these things, they use solar. Even when there's no light, they are running. I can view them from your phone. There are little tools that are not expensive. Gone are those days that before you run a TV somewhere, you are running hundreds of thousands of naira. Yeah, there's some like that. But there are very few effective ones now that are cheap that we can use. So, but we all know all this if we're not in shared groups, don't exchange knowledge. And please, I always say, don't go into farming solo, please. Then mistake number 9, which is last one, unrealistic expectations. I think I've been hammering on this since the beginning. That because proposal looks so tempting, we'll just go into it. We have 5 million, just put the whole 5 million into it. Or we have 50 million. They'll tell you the more you put into it, the more you're going to make out of it. If you do 10,000 fingerlings, feed them for 6 months, they're going to get 80 million. You look at it and looks so inviting and all that. Most times we get our fingers burnt. Most times. Most stories, I don't think, I'm still trying to crack my brain. Anybody that got to that kind of thing at the end of the day, got this. Most times, the unrealistic expectations that they tell you that so that you will always ask the people that are telling you to do it. Ask them for their own farms. Go and check out their own farms. So please, let's pilot first. Validate. What do you mean by validation? That means you pilot, do it again, and get that result that you want before you scale. Understand the cycle of your of your agricultural, whatever you're doing. I start the cycle of the season. Am I doing for dry season? I'm doing for rainy season, or if it's livestock, how many times am I going to raise this thing in a year? How many cycles can I go in a year? Those are the things we need to know before we're doing it. And the profit takes time. And there's some crowdfunding thing that they will tell you 40% in 1 year. Come and do part ownership of plantation, oil palm and other. Please be very, very careful. Profit takes time in farming. For the first 3 years you are farming, you might not really get your profit, but at least you'll be able to standardize your process, be able to validate your process, and you will know whether you want to scale or not. And you are building knowledge during the first 3 years. Don't let someone come and bamboozle you and say in 1 year, go into this production. If you do piggery in 1 year, forget it. You start with, pigs, they give birth to like 15, 20 children. So by the time you do piglets, sorry. So by the time you do 10 female, do 10 female and one boa, that in 3 months, they'll give you times 10. That's 130. You have 130 in 3 months. Before the end of And then end of the year, for end of the year, you have almost like 500. Don't be like that too. Or they will tell you rabbits, one man be more, go man bear money every 30 days. Want to be more, you can, you start with 10 in a year, you have like 2,000-3,000.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not that it cannot happen, it can happen, but you need to think of one. Do you have the cost for the housing? Do you have the money for the housing? Do you have the money to feed them? Do you have the space for them? Those are the things that, what if they give birth to 130? Do you have the money to feed them? Those are the things we want to do. And that's where we always have problems most times. I would like us to ask as many questions as we can. I'm stopping here. So as many questions as we can, and then share our experiences also. I'm sure we'll have more experiences to share with the hall. Thank you very much for listening.
Oh yeah.
So, do we have any questions, sir? Okay, I can see some questions here.
Can we ask some questions?
I can see one from. Thank you, Mr. Adewunmi. What do you do if the closest farm cluster to you is over an hour away from your home?
Mama.
Yes. Like I said, the advantage of doing clusters is
Yes, ma'am.
if it's too far from your home, unless you don't have an option of, if you don't have any option, and that's where you have to use, what our advice is, start going there first, and you begin to meet other farmers. And most times clusters are all doing same thing, probably. So by the time you have all the farmers, the farmers there, and you have your farm hands, so you can always call. Mr. Farmer, hey, sorry, I'm not going to farm today. Let me check my plate.
7,000. 100,000 naira.
Sorry, can that person put, sorry, can you put your mic on mute, please? The person talking.
Hello.
Hello, please, can you mute your mic? The person talking, please.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, yeah. Do you have a question, sir?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry to have come in late. I've had a network problem. All the same, I got parts of what you discussed, farmhands and others. Very good. In short, as I'm speaking, I'm on my farm working now. Let me put on the video so that you can see me actually sitting on my farm. People are harvesting cassava. Of course, I have about 3 acres of cassava here.
Great, sir. Nice one. Great.
Please come up for discussion. And what I just want to ask is, why you are taking us through this kind of experiences people have had, you have had. We need funds. We are retirees. We need funds. But is there any way we can source funds with some collateral presented that we can pay back government? We use that to give up funds for us to expand. Because presently now, as we are talking, I'm already clearing 10 acres of land for tomato, maize, and melon with okra. So I don't know how we can access from our state. Thank you.
All right, sir. Let me answer you, sir. One, when you say you need funds, sir, I will pray that is coming from your own experience. You've already mastered your own process. So I get to the space of where you need funds to expand. I can tell you from this, sir, that almost 80% of people that need funds don't need funds because they've not even mastered the process. They've not even validated what they are doing. The problem now is you give funds, and even if they mastered, you give funds and the production is, and they go ahead, they produce. There's no price control yet, sir. I hope you know that, sir. There's no price control yet. For example, cassava. There are
I'm
times
aware of that.
yes. So you
It
know, for
fluctuates.
cassava, yes, I have a little knowledge of cassava because I did cassava one time. And why I ran away from cassava and I went into processing was because cassava has a cycle. For a year or two, the prices are low, or 3 years. All of a sudden, it goes up very high.
Yes.
Then it dips again.
Yeah.
But we're never sure of when it spikes. And
When
then
to stabilize.
what you notice that when it spikes, the next season after that, everything input of cassava will be expensive. Even the farmers will be demanding money because they know that you cashed out last season. Do you understand, sir? So by the time you now
I'm
go
with you.
by the time you now go again and produce massively, the price will dip. Meanwhile, the cost of production went up.
Okay.
Those
Sorry,
are
sir. Sorry to cut you, sir.
all right, sir.
I'm also into cassava processing, fufu. I do it at Anyodelu here in Imotaxis.
All right.
It's a pity I'm not there. I can tell you video clips of where I pick Gary, where people work for me. Lagos State established the place there at Anyodelu, near the primary school at Anyodelu here, Agbawa Axis. Now, I have experimented on several crops, but
Yes,
I
sir.
discovered tomato, pepper, melon, and maize. Even if no price control, to some extent, they've been able to stabilize in the market.
Yeah.
But what we just need is not too high, maybe kind of loan. But even if given, government should monitor, should have people from the agri section to monitor what you actually do with that money. Because some people may get the money and go other way
Sir, are you
expend the
that's
money
where
unnecessarily. But
cooperative
me,
comes
I'm
in.
an agronomist.
All
I'm
right.
an agronomist. It's what I studied. And I know how piggery, I had wanted to go into it, but I discovered everybody needs these crops that you can grow twice in a year with the turnover. And if you're actually serious with the business, even if you have, for example, myself, if I have 5 million loan now, I'm very sure I can pay it back by June ending. I can assure whosoever to come and see what I do with the
yes,
money.
sir. I think you for the food that you process, sir, I think you should be able to access even grants and loans since you are processing. That means you are doing the whole value chain. And then since you are processing again, what we need at times might not even be loans. You might have off-takers for whatever you're processing. So they will come and say, look, I'm taking so and so and give you the money. So which you can use, but you make sure that you meet up to their demand when they want it. Those are the things that happen, sir.
Because like Lagos State government did something beautiful at Ayodelu here. A very good with solar, Tefa, they established shops.
They provide infrastructure.
Many Egedes are here. We are working together, producing fufu on a daily basis. No holiday, no day wasted. Every day, even this one they are buying from my farm now, is going to that business center for process. People are already peeling. They came to harvest yesterday. So
all right, sir. I think we'll take this outside this thing. I should get your number so I can talk. So I can take other questions. So I can talk after this, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Yeah, can I call my number?
You could type it out or send to the coordinator so I could get it.
I will send it to this Secretariat platform, right?
All right.
Okay. I will do that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate greatly.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I was going to answer this question that if the closest farm clusters are over an hour away from you, like I said, it's going to be strenuous if it's over an hour from you. But if it's a cluster, by the time you start going there, you begin to meet other farmers, and you can always develop a relationship with them. So you can ask Mr. A, please let me check something on this place. I'm not able to come today. Tomorrow, you are not asking Mr. A, you're asking Mr. C to check for you. It's not as if you're not going to be going there at all, but you won't, since it's that far, you can just go maybe once or twice a week. Depends on if there's traffic. It might be an hour and a smooth drive. That's still okay. But you need to forget to take it. If I'm going to the farm, I'm going to be spending almost 20K or 30K on one trip. Go come. That's not too, it's not jiving when it comes to business. For the apps for tracking expenses, I think we have Wave. It's a simple it's a simple tool that you can download. But for me, I always tell people use Excel. I think we can create it to fit whatever we want, the way we want it. Create it, we can impute and all that. Excel is so simple for me. So I always advise that we use Excel. The realistic estimation is not side of that. I think, okay, maybe they'll still put it up, or they can send it to your WhatsApp group after. I'm in piggy business. Is it advisable to do inbreeding of pigs? Other negative results of inbreeding. For inbreeding, basically, you're going to lower you're going to lower the quality of your offspring. That's the main thing about inbreeding. Once you do inbreeding, the quality of your produce, whatever you bring out, we always have issue. You're going to downplay the quality of whatever you're getting. So that's why we don't advise on inbreeding. It might be susceptible to disease, it might become a runt. They won't come out with their qualities. So always for pigs, we always advise bring in your boa. Make sure it's not the same farm you get your boa from, that you get your this thing from, the swans from. So for inbreeding will not give you good quality. You begin to see more death of your piglets. You begin to see piglets not growing as fast as they should. I think they said they want to PowerPoint, so I think PowerPoint can be sent to them, or you can watch it, so you can send to them. Then someone said,
Hello,
which
Mr. Adegoke, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Like I said before, apologies for the technical issues that we've been having. I've been thrown out so many times. But I've seen that Mr. Ogumola, his hand has been raised for a while. Can you please unmute yourself, sir? Or ma?
Good morning. Good day.
Morning, sir.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. The lecture has
Yes,
been
sir.
very rewarding. We are gaining a lot. I have 2 questions. I just completed weeding my oil palm field, and the distance is 7 meters apart. And I want to interplant with soursop. Would you advise that?
Yes, you can. You can, sir.
Okay.
You can.
The second one.
Yes.
I am into goats.
All right.
I started with only, I think 20, just 20, and they're doing well. I visited the farm center ago, right?
I didn't get that, sir.
I am into goats.
All right, okay.
And I started with about 20, and they're doing fine.
All right.
I needed some guidance, so I went to Adegoke farm settlement.
Okay.
I couldn't get much. Where can I go for assistance in terms of field work services?
Fieldwork services. I have someone that rears goats.
I will need
I can connect you with a person. He rears goats, and so let me have your number. He rears goats and cattle.
Okay. In Ikorodu,
Yes. Not in Ikorodu. I'm not sure where the farm is right now, but if you guys connect, I'm sure it's something you can, at least since you're already into it and he's been into it for a while. So by the time you talk, you'll be able to Yes, I have
All
someone.
right.
Yes.
Where do I
All right,
put my
thank
note?
you, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Omoba, can you please unmute yourself?
Thank you very much. Sir, thank you for the very enlightening and insightful lecture. Now, your lecture has allowed me to actually now decide, because I was trying to decide, should I go into it or should I just invest? I think with the way you've expatiated on this lecture, I would rather want to be an investor rather than go into it. I don't want wahala of, going to the farm, looking at the farm, there's bits this are not working, the people are cheating you, they're not doing their work as they should, and all of that. So what would you say, investing, being an investor, and
Yeah,
where could one go for
being
such?
an investor is
And
good, but
how much are you looking at for a good ROI if one does that?
one, for investors, is either there are two types of investors. Is either you go for an established farm already. An
Okay.
established farm already. That means you're just putting in money and then you get your returns out. So I'll put it this way. So for established farms, one, if you want to, you can do it that through the stock exchange. That's one area. Two, if you have private individuals that are established already and they need funds. But I'll just say one, I will let you in a year, I think the ROI might not be up to 20%. Are you listening,
So
Mark?
the ROI is usually very low.
Is low. Yeah, because of the risk involved in farming, which is why many people get trapped when they tell you farming 40%, 50%. Or another way of going into it, another way of going to it is if it's livestock is, do you know what? I want to do, okay, for example, I have a capacity for example, I have a capacity for 20,000 broiler birds for production. I've been doing it for a while, but I have capacity for just 10,000 now because of funds. So if you come to me and say, look, let's do the 20,000. Oh yeah, let me see. Who are you selling to? Who are your off-takers? How much are they going to buy? You work backwards. So you'll be able to know, okay, this is how much we will earn on it. And then how we're splitting it. Is this 70-30, 27, or 60-40 or 50-50? So for that, there are many ways you can go as an investor, but I just want to be careful of high ROI. You have to be very careful of that.
I think like most people here, can we take it off this platform so that we can have more in-depth conversations?
Yes, we can.
So that we don't hold everybody else up on the platform.
Thank you very much.
Series of questions.
Thank you for understanding. Yeah, we can do that. Yes.
We'll take that off. Thank you.
There's another person here, Pedro Fatai, Mr. Pedro Fatai, right? Can you unmute yourself, sir?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So I think maybe it's a suggestion or advice. You already told us that it's for a retiree, it's not advisable to have a farm away from your home. So that leaves us to urban agriculture that the Lagos State is promoting now. So most of the retirees have their home. And most of us end up having a lot of flowers in our gardens instead of planting things that be useful to our food, that be useful, other crop or some other thing that be useful, like tomato, pepper, and some other that might be useful. I think we should also emphasize on urban agriculture. And when we are going for urban agriculture, so what are the dangers? Because most of the urban agriculture already in an environment that already set up, like in an estate, you already said that if you want to do urban agriculture, maybe you want to do it in your estate or where people are staying. Poultry is out of the way. Then what are those things? Those of us who cannot go to farm or who are going to go far away from our home and want to convert our home into urban, you do things in your compound. You can be doing to survive or to eat. The leftover you can sell or dash people. How can we survive those things? Because in those kind of area, you have very many challenges. Either they say the smell is disturbing them, or the goat is running, is just eating the other things. What do you advise those who want to invest in urban agriculture should do? That's my advice. Because Lagos says it's promoting urban agriculture now.
Yeah, I have a school of urban agriculture too, sir. We're promoting it, and we tell people, okay, like my neighbor in my house, that's at the park. My neighbor did, I'll tell you what my neighbor did. He had his tank, his standalone. Under his tank, he planted ugu and bitter leaf. So there's no flow switch on the tank. So what happens is once the water gets full, it comes on the ugu. So whenever it pumps water, automatically what she has there gets watered, and she sells to almost everybody on the street. It was from her I saw that. I never thought about it till I saw her do it. Like you said, once you want to go into urban agriculture, one is it's how would I put it? We need to because at the back of our house, doesn't mean it's just there. We won't pay attention to it. But that's the feedback I get most times from people. And we say we did it for 2-3 months. All the crops died. And that's because we're not giving attention to it, because it's just at our backyard. That's number one challenge I always have with people when it comes to urban agriculture. So I always say that if you're doing it, always do, like you mentioned, sir, that always do crops, vegetables, pepper, tomatoes, and I make sure that you water them. For example, regularly during the dry season, if you have enough, you will sell and make so much money from your backyard. But we just need to give it as much attention as we are giving a farm that is outside, as that big farm. That's one challenge I've noticed it. Many people that I mentor, many people that come to the school, and when they finish, they start it, and we belittle it and think, what's there? It's just at the back. At times, some people don't water for 3 days. You will never remember. So if we're going to do it, it has to be intentional. That's one thing I would advise about having a backyard farming. We've talked about it, we've preached about it, we've taught people, we've given people free tools to start. But the number one issue, what I want challenge.
Can snaring be doing in urban agri? Snaring?
Yes. Okay. But like I said, so say it can be done, but when it comes snails as a comma, snails is very difficult to cultivate. I won't lie to you, sir. Snails are difficult to cultivate. That's the truth. If they're not difficult to cultivate, I don't think snails will be expensive. Everybody will have been doing it at the backyard. Hope I answered your question, sir.
Okay, there's no problem. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Adegoke. I've dropped his number on the I've dropped it in the chat box, but I'll just quickly call it out now. 0809 800 4191. I'll take it again. 0809 800 4191. Okay, there's another hand raised up. ITEL P673L. Please, can you unmute yourself and ask your question or your contribution? ITEL P673L. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much, ma. Can you hear me, ma?
You're welcome, sir. Yes, we
Okay,
can. Please go ahead.
thank you very much. The question that colleague asked, I just want to add a little contribution. I think going into such a venture, for example, within an estate or your community or your own house, I think something like yam planting in bags, like this cement bag, tomato production. If you like my house now, I have about 150 seedlings that I am nursing, and also have maize. It's a pity I cannot put the video here. I have maize of about 170 in my compound that I'm nursing. If you have borehole and you have space within your compound, you can adequately grow something you can eat and also market. Like the tomatoes I produce over years, I have discovered that at least about 10 baskets, I do sell them out within my estate. And things like that can be done. Even cockroaches, you can do that. You can put them through too. And amaratus, this tete, you can produce them and you can market. Even if not marketing, at least for your household, you will be convenient to eat something, good from your own harvest. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So I also noticed in the chat box, some people are asking for the recording. You can go to YouTube. We have our channel there. So all our previous webinar sessions can be viewed there. The channel is Retirees Cooperative MS. I've dropped it in the chat box. Retirees Cooperative MS. If you type that, it will take you to the page, and you will see other sessions that we've had on agri, health, business, and things like that. All the sessions we've been having ever since we started this webinar session. So this particular one too would be uploaded there. If you even go there now, we are streaming live. So all right. Okay, someone is asking, Mr. Adegoke, which comes first? Is it farming or training?
You train first, then you farm, and you keep training. You keep learning. You keep learning. You can't stop the training once you start farming. You train, you farm, and you keep training.
08. Okay, so you train first, then you farm, then you keep training. Okay. I don't know if you've taken this question.
Practical training, please. Practical training before farming, please. Practical training, not textbook or theory, please.
Okay. Someone says, I have registered a company already, but if I decide to go into farming, am I going to register a new company or stand on the existing one?
It depends. If I don't know what you register the company as, but I think if you're going to agriculture, it's best you go into you register an agricultural company. But I think there's some I think for agricultural companies, I think there are tax holidays or so for them. So you can exploit that. For agricultural companies, there are some tax waivers, or tax holidays for them. So if the company that was registered is not an agricultural company, I think the best is to register a new one. And I would like to see also that I know some of us. Sorry, can I say something? I'm sure some of us can help.
Please go ahead.
If there are people here that can help register companies, I think we can let other people know, because I found out that some people take ridiculous amount of money to register businesses, to register even limited companies, whereas they're not that expensive as they're made to be. So let's be careful out there also. I think with as low as 60,000, you can do a limited liability company. Some people will tell you to go and bring 250,000. Some will say go and bring 150,000. But I think with as low as 60K, you can get it done. Thank you.
All right. Please give us examples of downloadable applications for tracking expenses. I don't know if you've taken that.
Yeah, I've taken that. Yeah. I always say
Okay.
there are lots of them, but I always say use Excel. Excel is you can easily customize it to what you want easily.
Okay. Are there clusters that are in plantain farming?
They are, but the ones I know are not in Lagos.
Okay, there are. All right. Can we go planting in bags in our environment and homes? Oh, okay. Can you plant in bags at home? I think so.
Yeah, you can. The
Did
man that
you?
spoke earlier said it. At least that's practical now. He said he's doing his yams in bags. So you can do yams in bags. You can do cucumber. You can do so many things in bags. If you can do yams as a root crop in bags, definitely you can do others in bags. Potatoes you can do in bags also. Yes.
Okay. Is there a way of getting agricultural loan to invest in farming business? I don't know if you've taken that too.
I've taken it, but I've said that we're starting off.
Okay.
Let's shy away from loans. Let's shy away from loans. It's when we're established, we have a ready market already. That's when we can start talking about loans. And even at times, if you get off-takers, we don't need loans. If you have off-takers, they'll come and pay before you even finish producing.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, I think this will be the last question we would take. How can I reduce the risks of inbreeding?
I've taken that already. Inbreeding, you get
No, I think this
inbreeding.
just
Oh,
came
okay.
in.
Inbreeding. Someone talked about inbreeding. I said inbreeding. To reduce the risk of inbreeding, you don't put the male with the female. Put the male apart. I always get the male out of your farm. Because once you get the male from the offspring of your farm, you are going to have inbreeding. So when you bring it, so you need to know. That's why I say that's where your bookkeeping is it has to be tight. You know, I have this book. You need to know when you got it, where you got it from. I have this mail. This is where I got it from. So this mail must not do it. That's why most times I always say, if you are raising them, if you have a strong male that you want to use as from your farm, then you know it's going to be cousin or the siblings or whatever in your farm. That means you have to bring new female from out of your farm. If not, get a strong male from outside and use and buy a strong from outside and use it to cross the female.
Okay, I think that's the last question.
Someone
Yes.
said I have
We really
four
gone.
pregnant. Sorry, ma. Someone said I have 4 pregnant pigs
Yeah.
already inbreeding. What I would say is, since you have 4 already, let them give birth, and since they are pigs, if you can set them up as growers, that would be fantastic. If you can set them up as growers to other people, that would be fantastic.
Okay. So in other words, inbreeding is not a good idea.
It's not.
Okay.
Can I be considered to an expert in
Okay.
planting of coconuts? I will have to find out. I'll have to find out about that. I don't know someone right now from my head. that does coconut. So you can contact me later so that whenever I have a feedback from you, that's is it Mr. or Mrs. Banjo.
Okay. I think there's one more. How do we plant in bags?
You have your bags, you can use cement bags. Yes, that's what most of us use. You have your soil. You have your soil with your manure, and you are good to go. Make sure when you're planting, if it's root crops, then make sure it's almost like 3/4 of the bag.
Máa ṣàpèjúwe agbègbè àwọn bíi agbègbè tí wọ́n ti ń sábà mú agbára ní ìgbèkùn. Rúdèrúdò ọ̀hún bẹ́ sílẹ̀ lẹ́yìn sí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ aṣọ́bodè gbẹ̀mí lẹ́nu
I
àwọn
hope I answered that, Mr. Labelu Matthew.
Okay, I think he has muted himself, but you've answered the question. So, okay, another one from Yetunde Simpson. Madam Yetunde Simpson. Uh-oh.
Yeah, she said rice bags are
Oops.
preferable for yams.
Okay, can you see the question? It's gone on
No,
my
it wasn't a question.
side.
No, she just said rice bags are preferable for yams.
Oh, okay. Rice bags are preferable for yams. Okay. All right. Thank you for that advice, Ma. Thank you. Okay, it's now 10 minutes past 12. We've gone way past our time because we're supposed to end by 11:30. But it's obvious we've learned so many things from today's session. I sincerely appreciate everyone for staying this long. Thank you, Mr. Adegoke. But before we leave, can someone please volunteer to appreciate our facilitator today? Or should I just call on anybody? Any volunteers?
Yeah, my name is Princess Adegoke Adedunya. I have a mobile on there. On behalf of all the retired heads of service and permanent secretaries and every other person either retired or serving that's on this webinar, we want to say a very humongous thank you to Mr. Adegoke for imparting so much knowledge onto us, for empowering us in our thoughts, and the way we go about living our retired lives. We say thank you very much, and may God bless you and enlarge your own course as well. God bless you. And
Amen.
on behalf of the head of service, who was graciously allowed us to be having this webinar, on behalf of everybody else, we say thank you to the head of service. God bless you all. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Ma. You're most welcome. Thank you so very much, Mr. Adegoke. Thank you. So as we usually do, can we please all unmute ourselves, your videos, so that I can say hello and Happy New Year to one another. Good morning. Oh, sorry. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Happy New
Good
Year.
afternoon. Thank you so
Good
much.
afternoon. Happy New Year.
Good
Happy New Year.
afternoon.
Thanks so much, my farm. You can come and harvest cassava and enjoy yourself.
Oh, this is awesome.
Wish you successful farming.
Yeah, thank you. You can come and harvest James cassava and enjoy yourself. You can see some here. We are here doing the Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
Give us your phone
This is
number.
nice.
I'm at my farm now. We post that when I'm through. I will put it on the Taris platform.
Okay.
Okay, that would be nice, sir.
Because we produce fufu here at Anyodelu Agbawa. Tomato at Ikorodu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
you.
We really enjoy the
God
program.
bless you all.
Thank
This one has been a very interesting one.
Thank you very
God
much.
bless
Thank you very much.
Odola.
Very
Appreciate this your wonderful effort.
Thank you. Mm.
Thank you. 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 God bless you.
God bless you. Remain blessed in Jesus' name.
Remain
Amen.
blessed. Bye.
So thank you. Bye.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. So February,
Yeah,
by
different
God's
will be
grace,
what.
was
I'm going to take more
another
bread.
interesting
Yeah, different
webinar
will be
session for
what
all.
bread.
I saw
So
different.
on behalf
I
of the head of
different.
service and
Killing.
our permanent secretary, PSO, we have come to the end of today's session. All right. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Bye.
Okay, you too.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
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 Thank you very much. Bye bye. God bless you. God bless